Jungkook is your bully in high school. He makes you do things for him like feeding him chocolates and massaging him. Once you sprain your ankle, Jungkook took good care of you. He carried you in bridal style to your house and introduced himself as your boyfriend. He is very possessive about you. Your coworker Ben calls you YNE and Jungkook almost killed him for that. But for some unknown reasons, Jungkook had been ignoring you for a week and you're upset about it. A detailed video of Jungkook teasing and flirting with you is pinned in the comment section below. Please take a look. At the party in April's house, I was just wondering if you guys wanted to come down to the basement to play a few games with me and a few others? April asked cheerfully. Yeah, sure, let's go guys. May said, clambering to her feet in excitement. Once we were in the basement, April demanded we all get in a circle. I complied and sat on the floor next to May. Looking around, I spotted Ben a couple of spaces across from me, who gave me a little friendly wave upon us making eye contact. Continuing my scan for familiar faces, my eyes stumbled upon Jungkook. How was this guy everywhere? He barely seemed to notice that I was here and continued with whatever conversation he was having with Jimin. So, now that enough people are gathered, we can start. We are going to be playing a game of truth and dare, April said in an overly excited manner. She then downed the bottle of beer in her hand before placing it into the middle of the circle. She squeezes into a non-existent space between Jungkook. He shifted uncomfortably and pushed himself further against Jimin so he could increase the distance between the two of them. Well, that was odd. Why wouldn't a teenage boy like himself want to have a hot girl like April squished up against their side? Okay, who wants to spin first? Me, May said, almost jumping out of her seat comically. I looked away, feeling ashamed that my friend was acting like a toddler in a sugar rush. Finally, the bottle stopped on Jimin. Truth or dare? May said in a suspiciously calm voice. Knowing her well, I knew this screamed of her sinister intent. Dare, Jimin said, returning May's look with an equally challenging expression of his own. This immediately confirmed to me that he was an idiot. You should never underestimate me. Okay, Mr. Daredevil, swap clothes with me for the rest of the game, she smirked. I watched as the expression on Jimin's face went from smug to devastated in a matter of 3 seconds. Oh no, I should have gone with the truth, Jimin groaned as his face dripped with regret. I observed May's attire and saw she was wearing a short black pale suit. This was going to be very interesting. Jungkook, upon seeing Jimin's expression, started howling with laughter and struggled to breathe as he gasped for air. Shut up, Jungkook, Jimin said with a bitter scowl on his face. Reluctantly, he followed May to the bathroom to change. After about 10 minutes, they returned to the circle, and the moment I saw Jimin, I completely lost it. May looked alright wearing his clothes, she kind of looked cute in them. Jimin, on the other hand, looked like an idiot, wanting to remember this moment forever. I wiped up my phone as quickly as I could before snapping a picture. It was accidentally on flash, so it caught Jimin's eye almost immediately and a panic looked cross over his face. Delete it now, YN, he yelled and he started to stomp his way over to me. I just laughed at him before quickly shoving my phone into my bra for safekeeping. He wasn't exactly going to tackle me for it out of there. He would look like a pervert. Screw you, YN, I thought we were friends. May high-fived me as she sat back down in her space. She smirked triumphantly over at Jimin, who had an incredibly glum expression on his face. As it was Jimin's turn to spin, when it finished spinning, it was pointed at me. Oh no! I looked up at Jimin and gave him an awkward smile, hoping this would somehow convince him to have mercy on me. I bet you wish you were nicer to me now, don't you? I tried to take his threat seriously, but it was incredibly hard to do with him still wearing his little outfit. Truth or dare, YN? Jimin spat spitefully. Truth, I replied almost immediately. I wasn't stupid. If I said dare, he would make me do something awful. Truth was incredibly safe. I had almost nothing to hide. Okay, fine, I have got a good one. Which guy in the room, besides me of course, do you think is the most attractive? Jimin asked, beaming at me with an evil grin. He knew how awkward of a question that was to answer in front of everyone. It wasn't a difficult question. I knew it straight away, Jungkook. However, whether I was willing to admit that or not was another matter. I hate you, I grumbled, glaring at Jimin for putting me on the spot. I was starting to see why he was such good friends with Jungkook. They both liked to torment me. Jungkook, who had been pretty resilient in avoiding my gaze throughout the whole game so far, was finally looking at me. He looked genuinely interested in my answer for some reason. I stuttered like an idiot as I racked my brain to try and think of a safe answer to his question. Just pick a name, Ryan. Just say literally any name. Hurry up, Ryan, spit it out, Jimin said with a smirk as he tried to provoke me. I couldn't take the heat anymore, and my eyes darted around in panic. Okay, fine, it's Jungkook, I blurted out before I could stop myself. As soon as the words passed through my lips, my eyes widened in horror. What have I just done? I snapped my head to face Jungkook so fast I almost got whiplash. I expected to see him laughing or at least smirking, but he was just staring at me in absolute astonishment. He looked arguably more shocked by what I just said than I did. Well, this is awkward. Jimin snickered, intensifying the humiliation I was feeling by a million. The game went on with more people doing various truth and dares, some more funny than others. It was now April's turn. She crawled her way into the center of the circle, purposely making sure to brush against Jungkook as she did so. This time it landed on Ben. Dare, Ben said with confidence as he looked up at April with an easy smile on his face. Excellent. I dare you to kiss Ryan, April said without hesitation. What the did she just say? She wanted him to kiss who now? Was I about to have my first kiss in a game of bloody truth and dare? You have got to be kidding me. I never should have agreed to play this stupid game. What was April's problem? You just don't dare two friends to kiss each other for no apparent reason. I really didn't want to kiss Ben. He was just a friendly face at work. Ben had finally made his way over and was knelt out right in front of me. I could faintly hear the sound of whistles and cheers from the other drunk party guests who were egging on us. My anxiety felt like it was going through the roof. It's fine, Ryan. You can do this. You can do this. Ben gave me an awkwardly tight-lipped smile and cupped my cheek. His face then started to move slowly towards mine, and on reflex, I closed my eyes. I heard a loud thud, followed by a groan of pain. I snapped my eyes open immediately and took in the sight before me with widened eyes. What the hell? Ben lay sprawled out on the floor and looked arguably as shocked as me. Jungkook had abandoned his place in the circle and was now standing intimidatingly over Ben's body with a murderous expression on his face. He looked like he was seconds away from attacking him. Who do you think you are? Jungkook said with a harsh chuckle. He sounded so angry and unlike himself that it was kind of scaring me. Don't you ever touch her. Jesus Christ, it's just a dare. You need to chill out, dude. Ben stammered out as Jungkook in both fear and confusion. I don't give anything if it was a dare. You don't touch her like that, ever. Jungkook hissed in between gritted teeth. Look man, I didn't do anything wrong. Ryan was cool with it. She didn't exactly push me away, did she? His comment seemed to rub Jungkook the wrong way, and there was a momentary flash of pain in his eyes before his expression hardened. Abruptly, Jungkook lunged for Ben and lifted him up before roughly slamming his back down on the ground again. Ben groaned upon the impact and looked up at Jungkook with widened and terrified eyes. Just as Jungkook was about to throw a punch to Ben's face, Jimin leaped to his feet and caught Jungkook. Jungkook, calm down. You're making a scene. He is not going to kiss her anymore, okay? Jungkook seemed to visibly relax upon hearing his words and gradually stopped trying to attack Ben. Jungkook then snapped his head towards me. His eyes were guarded and stony. Why the hell is he looking at me like that? What did I do? I then watched with widened eyes as he stormed his way over to me. Was he going to push me over next? Get up, we are leaving, he snapped as he grabbed me by my wrist and hurled up off the floor and onto my feet. He managed to drag me as far as the basement stairs before I suddenly came to my senses and realized I was just letting him treat me like a rag doll. I angrily ripped my arms out of his grasp and halted in my place. Who do you think you are? How dare you drag me around like that? I hissed in annoyance. Look, Ryan, I haven't got the patience for your difficulty today. I'm in a bad mood, he scowled. I don't care what of mood you are in. I'm not going anywhere with you, I spat out angrily. He narrowed his eyes before moving intimidatingly closer to me, so close that I could feel his chest brushing up against mine. You can either walk up the stairs on your own free will, Ryan, or we can go with my favorite option where I howl your body over my shoulder. Your choice, he whispered. From the daring look in his eyes, I could tell he wasn't joking. I knew for a fact he would go through with it. I spat as I pushed past him angrily and stormed my way up the stairs in defeat. Before I could get so much as 3 steps away, I felt someone captured my wrist before swinging me back around to face them with incredible speed. I was met with the sight of a miserable faced Jungkook. You were just going to let him kiss you? What happened to you not liking him, huh? Jungkook hissed with anger. This is ridiculous. I can't believe you're mad at me. I'm not the one who's been ignoring you all the week, I fired back angrily. The rage in Jungkook's eyes faded and he broke eye contact and rubbed the back of his neck awkwardly. When he didn't say anything, I scoffed. Why do you even care so much anyway? He shuffled awkwardly on his feet and seemed fixated on staring at the ground. Because I just don't like that you lied to me, he mumbled. You said you didn't like him and I was stupid enough to believe you, he said weakly as he slowly raised his eyes back up to meet mine. I was telling the truth, Jungkook. I don't like Ben. Then why didn't you push him away? He said with narrowed eyes. Only because I didn't want to ruin the game, I cried. Besides, it's just a stupid kiss. It's not a big deal. Jungkook let out a loud scoff as though my statement had somehow offended him. It is a big deal. It is your first kiss, for God's sake. Don't you want it with someone special? He said softly. His gaze made my heart flutter momentarily before I immediately shoved the feeling away. I told you, I don't care, Jungkook, so just drop this and leave me alone. Before he could get another word in, I pivoted around and rushed away to go and find Chloe. Wake up, Chloe, I said, shaking her vigorously. What time is it? Time for us to leave. In the distance, I could see May heading our way. She had clearly abandoned the game downstairs in search of me. As soon as she reached us, I grabbed her arm as well and started to drag them both along with me to the door. Sorry to be sore, but I'm tired and I want to go home, I muttered moodily. Are you sure you're okay to drive, Ryan? I know you're worried because you don't have a license, May said as she hesitantly fished the keys out of her pocket and dropped them into my open palm. Yeah, of course. It's only 5 minutes away. What the? You are not seriously going to drive without a license, Chubbs? An angry loud voice snapped from behind me. I turned around and groaned in annoyance as I saw Jungkook stood before me yet again. Yes, I'm going to drive, Mr. Goody Two-Shoes. He let out a harsh chuckle. Sorry, but there's no way I'm going to let this happen, he said as he rudely snatched the keys from my hand. I'm driving you home. I let out a loud sigh before slowly trailing behind him. I couldn't be bothered to start another argument and I just wanted to go home. And this was the easiest way. May forced me to sit next to Jungkook. I could feel his intense gaze on me, but I didn't even spare him a glance. Jungkook kept glancing over me every few seconds as though he was itching to tell me something. I hoped what he wanted to tell me was an apology for the way he had been acting lately, because I honestly had no clue what his problem was. Not only he had tried to beat up Ben for trying to kiss me, but he had then decided to humiliate me even further by dragging me out of the basement like I was a child. It was like he wanted to take up an additional job as my second overprotective dad. When we finally reached my house, I immediately unbuckled my seatbelt and was about to climb out of the car without a word of goodbye. "Wait," Jungkook said quickly. "Please, can I talk to you alone for a second?" Jungkook asked softly as he fiddled nervously with his hands. I threw my house keys to May as a silent indication to go ahead without me. When we were finally alone, Jungkook cleared his throat and turned to face me. "Look, Ryan, I did today and I'm so sorry," he mumbled in a guilt-ridden voice. I widened my eyes and looked at him as though he had grown two heads. Jungkook has never given me a proper apology all my years of knowing him. I was so shocked I could barely even construct a sentence. "I'm also sorry for ignoring you, Ryan. You did nothing wrong, okay? It was just all me and my stupid issues. Can we just forget all of this happened and go back to being friends or acquaintances or enemies or whatever the hell we were before?" His apology had annoyingly won me over, and I soon found myself smiling softly at him. "We are cool, Jungkook, and I'll happily go back to being your number one sworn enemy," I said with an amused chuckle. However, in my heart of hearts, I knew that wasn't true. Strangely enough, I was starting to see Jungkook as my friend. For more videos, please subscribe this channel. Have a great day, dear ones. Bye.